Hello, happy witching hour. Hello. I thought I would come by for a couple of minutes and talk a little bit about this same thing that I have been kind of warning people about um, for a long time now. And of course, there was a trigger. And what triggered this was um, Super Sly is doing a live, and I saw Duchess Dayor, and I was like, "Who is that?" And so when I looked it up, I realized it was that Georgia couple that he unalived the wife and unalived himself, right? And so I'm watching, and I start getting cold chills, and I just start feeling something, and it felt like there's certain, like, okay, first of all, every single case that I look at stuff like that is not always possession. It's certain cues and signs that my just my spirit, like just my intuition will give me, and I really felt that, and I said those people was possessed. You know that? Hey, Stellan, good evening or happy witching hour. I said those people was possessed. I had to turn the thing off. I said because I looked at the actual, like, and y'all got to be like, I tell people to be careful when you're watching stuff like that. Like, it's not like the spirit necessarily got can come through necessarily. Not saying that it can't. The whole spirit of the situation, because there's not just energy and spirits from people or entities, but situations, which is like a whole other thing that I'll have to explain to y'all. Um, which is how a lot of houses end up haunted, because if something in particularly traumatic happens in a house, it doesn't necessarily have to be the spirits of the people that lived in that house, but more so just the situation. So that's something that we'll explore later. But, and I know people, it's spooky to a lot of people. But I think that instead of being scared, I think people should be aware. Like, what I felt coming from the actual footage was definitely possession. Every single time I pick up on a case like that, it gets more and more disturbing, because I feel like it's something that people are not necessarily aware of. Like, I see people all the time possessed and they're not aware that they are under possession. And I'm not talking about of demons, just sometimes other people. Sometimes possession is happening by other people doing it purposely, like a lot of the times, which of course, hence why witchcraft, and that aspect of witchcraft, because that's not the only aspect of witchcraft, but that's one part of it that people hate, why they hate witches and why they fear it, or don't trust it. And so I wanted to come and talk about that, and you guys notice that I talk about that a lot. And the reason why is because I feel that people should do what's necessary to not fall under possession. And y'all know I wasn't gonna put y'all know I don't use like catchy titles for my videos, which I probably need to start. Um, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. The Dayor situation. That was definitely a classic case of possession. Um, and it's just disturbing the amount of people that don't know or are aware of being possessed. You know, and that aspect of it, I keep getting reminded of it. Like from my, yeah, I do talk about this all the time. I do. Like that aspect of it, like, is something that I notice a lot. And I think people should be aware of it. Like sometimes possession can be a good thing. Sometimes, especially if you're under possession of spirits that are sensible, that are peaceful. But if it's a murderous spirit, that like, and I'm talking about to the point where that spirit or either your spirits allow you to carry out something like that. So, and from what I can tell by my intuition, it was possession by someone else. It was not their spirits. It was a hit. It was a hit. Some, and it was disturbing to see it. It really was. Apparently they were vlogging together. Apparently, y'all gotta be careful out here. I know a lot of my couples that I like, and I like their children. They're on my list of protected ones. You know what I'm saying? When I watch them, and because there's so many people that are just not aware of that aspect of it. And I know a lot of people will say, "Well, I got the protection of Jesus," and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Um, because that at least you have that, right? And it's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So, but I think that people that are more prone to possession don't have that, but then again they may sometimes have that, but they're not actually connected to that the way that they should. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the whole thing should be, honestly, the way I would say to prevent that, because he was definitely under possession. She was under possession of him because that was her husband. He was definitely under possession because he unalived himself after the incident. So he definitely, the way he was talking, the way he was threatening her, classic possession, and most people have no idea. Like, I can definitely see very clearly that somebody was doing work on those people too. Um, and so that part right there is a trip, how that can happen. And so people need to be aware of that. Be aware of that. Stay aware of that when, if you just start acting strange and, you know, uh, become unreasonably angry at a person, you know, um, thinking thoughts that you shouldn't be thinking. It really takes a lot of self analysis to deal with this spiritual warfare that we're dealing with. And I know a lot of people have an opinion about me. Oh, you're a witch. Well, I don't do stuff like that. I don't go around just randomly messing with people. Just FYI. If I ever put somebody under possession, if I ever felt the need to do that, it's to stop stuff from happening. Like, I wouldn't, but I wouldn't do nothing like that. But I do know people that do, you know, they want to get people in a bad way. Okay. And that just, it literally sent chills through my body looking at that video. So people need to be careful watching these videos too. That's why I don't really click on them. You know what I'm saying? I don't divulge in it. You know what I mean? But hmm and it's because I know that there are a lot of people that are unaware. And see, that's one of the reasons why I use the block button in social media. I don't let just anybody come through my social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially, I don't just let anybody, communicate with me via social media because people can either send spirits or either spirits can travel, you know. And I mean, of course, you can protect yourself. I mean, as somebody that does this type of work, I've learned to protect myself. You want to provide some kind of barrier because I talk to people that are possessed all the time, which is my clients, some of my clients that are in need of cleanses and stuff like that. But, whew, that's a trip, y'all. Just be careful with that and be aware of that because, some of these people that are practicing necromancy, they're doing it just for the hell of it. Like, and do I think that that's a good thing? Do I think that they should be doing that? No, I don't. I think that people that are just doing that randomly, I think that those people, they don't, they got some negative karma coming for them. I do. I truly believe that people that are just doing it randomly, like, just for the fun of it, I don't agree with doing stuff like that. But yeah, that was a trip. And I see a lot of possessed people. Now, let me tell y'all this though. And again, I wasn't gonna put Adriana Smith's name in my title. I don't want to attract y'all. It's crazy. I want to be in social media. I want to be famous in social media, or either get views, get a substantial amount of views. But then again, I don't. So that's why I don't put stuff in titles like that, because now. But what I was going to tell y'all is that they delivered Adriana Smith's baby boy, and his name is Chance. And I thought that that was so appropriate for him, and I'm so happy for that family that child came into this world. He was born on the fourth on Friday the 13th. Actually, he was born on June the 13th, and I'm so happy because and I think that they're going to be happy to have that child. You know, I know I can see why they named him Chance because it's obvious that mother wanted her child to have a chance. I tried to tell people, y'all, it was so much negativity that came through to me. And I was actually experiencing a lot of negativity. I didn't even find out until today that he was born. And I think that's just so precious. I really do. I'm so happy that I think that, everybody's saying is that are they going to pay the doctor bills? Are they, oh, this is horrible. But that's those people's family. That's somebody's grandchild. I just some of the stuff that I see in social media, y'all, it just really bothers me. And they're like, "Oh, this is so horrible." Yeah, but so y'all want to create a double tragedy? I don't understand. I'm not even gonna get into it with them about it. I'm not. I'm please, please do not come for me, please. I don't even have to beg and plead for people to not come for me. Okay? Please don't. People got mad at me. I literally got attacked, and I just remember on Friday the 13th an absorbent amount of negativity coming towards me, and I'm just thinking, why? And those are people that are possessed. There's a lot of possessed people in this world. How can you attack somebody for feeling compassion? And I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't get it. Stefan, I don't get it. But he's definitely here. He's in the Nikki. Child, I am so sorry about that. I am so sorry. Yeah, so anyway, I'm back. Uh, well, you know, anywho, rest in peace to that couple. But to me, it's crazy. It's crazy how, sometimes I literally detect that. Like I said, it ain't the case in every case, but, that's just sad. Oh, yeah, I was talking about how my grandbaby was like 5 pounds when he was born. So he's a big old thing now. He's a big chunky butt now. But, I just, I have found a way to really, really like, as far as with protection from negativity, I mean, you can't be protected from negativity. You can't. It's everywhere. Like, people are going to be negative, but you just don't want people's bad spirits and energy to be touching you. You don't want that stuff to just actually touch you and do harm to you, you know? So, it's just a trip. Many, many, many people do not know, you know, about what lurks around out there. I'm anointing my head. I'm basically oiling my scalp with this olive and tea tree oil by African Pride. It's got, what does this have in it? It's got all kind of different oils in it. It's got soybean oil, olive oil, tea tree oil, avocado oil, linseed oil. Some good stuff right here. So I'm sitting there doing that for right now. But I just wanted to come and say that, like, my goodness gracious. Um, mhm. I don't know, the reason why it disturbs me is when it is like, when I look at it, and it kind of catches me off guard when I do see it, because I just click on a video and I'm picking up on it and I'm like, oh my God. Mm, it's kind of crazy. So anyway, y'all, I didn't want to be here that long. I just wanted to come and give y'all that, like, I know y'all like, oh, okay. Now you done spooked us for the evening, Jamila. It's don't have to be spooky. Y'all don't have to, like, honestly, on my channel, I protect all my viewers. So, and I keep my, any space that I am in, trust and believe, it ain't no negative spirits in there. I keep my incense burning. I even burn incense and herbs and sage outside. I burn it outside the perimeter of wherever I am at. And so I don't keep bad spirits like that around. Oh, my scalp needed that though. But anyway, yeah, man, if you notice that somebody acting strange like that, and I think especially cuz the husband had like a little funny look about himself. Mediums are very susceptible to possession. If somebody is a medium, it can make it worse. But a lot of people that are mediums, they don't know it. They are literally not aware of it. So my guess, my hunch would be that I feel it was possession. I know that there's a lot of people that's like, nah, he just did this. He just. Mm. Sometimes that is the case. Sometimes it's a case of mental illness, crime of passion. That was not a crime of passion. That was not mental illness. Even if he'd been diagnosed with a mental illness, that was not. That was possession. And I felt like I had to come and say that. That was possession. Straight up and down. So, mm, and you know, Georgia's haunted. Haunted Georgia. It is so haunted. It is so, well, everywhere is haunted, but Georgia's extra ultra haunted. Georgia is ultra haunted. It is like, I couldn't even imagine going to Louisiana, even though one day I do want to visit Louisiana. But if, like, I can imagine that Louisiana is, it would be an experience to be there. It would. That would be an experience. And you know that a lot of people have their protection from possession typically built in to their hands. It doesn't always work. It depends on what the situation is, but y'all know that M that you can have, that a lot of people have on their hand, that actually is like a built-in, it, you know, the symbolism of that M is like, you know, can protect from possession, which is why a lot of people hold up their hand to protect from the evil eye, because that's like a symbol of protection, that M on your hand. So, you know, but I mean, people can get past that sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people can get past that. So, anywho, that's pretty much it, y'all. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I'd love to go visit there, though. I really would. So, anyway, y'all, let me get back to my videos. I will see y'all later. Okay. I'm not watching any more of those videos, though. I just so happened to look it up because I didn't know what the lady's name was. And I was like, oh, I clicked on that video. I said, ooh, I said, what? And it wasn't what he was saying. Mm-mm. Y'all don't understand. It was not what he was saying. Yes, he was saying some crazy stuff in that video. Yes, he was. It was what I felt. Okay, see, I'm a Cancer, natural empath. I felt what was happening there. And that's pretty much how I interpret things, you know, when I read things, you know. Um, and my sense of smell has just been getting absolutely out of this world like crazy. My sense of smell. Oh, goodness. So, mm-hmm. That part of having I forget what they call it, but it's where your sense of smell is really sensitive. So yeah. Anyway, protect yourselves, and that's pretty much it. I will see y'all later. Okay. Have a happy witching hour. Bye.